Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too. We have another opportunity to live, laugh, love, learn, and linger together. So let's do it. Today I'm talking about Gene Houston, who coined the phrase psychonaut, like astronaut, psychonaut. We're in that time in history where people have to stop getting a PhD in woundology. You have to let go of the past, the wounds, and turn it into the search for the beloved. So that means you have to tell your story for sure, but learn to mythologize it instead of pathologize it. Imagery excites our brain chemistry, and so if we're going to move into this next stage of global awareness and species bonding, if we're going to overcome being inhibited versions of who we really are, if we're going to remove the spiritual cataracts from our eyes and have the political will to take care of everybody, we have to realize a couple of things. First, there's mysteries of the mind without drugs. And I'm all for changing yourself chemically with visionary vegetables or the new psychedelics that are coming out. But time-honored ways of shifting your nervous system do not have to include drug-induced states for those people who are still averse to the flesh of the gods. But there's the most amazing transformation in human history is happening right now, the planetization, the global mindset. And we have to realize that there's a lot of paranoia, there's a lot of suspicion, there's a lot of mistrust of people, and the collective shadow that we all face is a refuge heap of unskilled behaviors, immature behaviors. And the way that our culture can sanctify mediocrity, artificiality, stupidity, that's one of our shadows. So our education must help everyone from children on up to develop their intelligence, which, as you know, is not just simple linear analytical thinking, but the intuitive side, the nonverbal side, the musical side, the culinary side, the kinesthetic side. There's so many different kinds of intelligence. We're not going to let IQ be the defining factor of what makes a person smart. And remember, none of us is as smart as all of us. So, are you bored with this? If you're bored with it, now comes commitment. And we have a stupendous opportunity ahead of us. So, are we going to grow? Are we going to move into the next stage? If you're touched by the center of your own sorrows and you realize that betrayal is archetypal, it happened to Christ, it happened to Prometheus, Cain and Abel. I mean, all the different stories that show you inherent in life is people undercutting you. So this is the most seismic time in history. Maybe every generation felt that their time was the most seismic time. But it's a common theme of working together, the rainbow vision. It's not new, and we're all on our own odyssey trying to get back to our homeland. We meet a lot of strange islands of consciousness and apparent monstrous things that ultimately turn out to be great teachers for us. The biggest thing we have to deal with, I would say, is getting rid of the shadow that's surrounded women stepping into public life. The future is female, powerful and intelligent women. They've always been there. But now we need them in the public sphere in a way that's unprecedented in the history, certainly of patriarchy in the West. So there's many pivots, not just a pandemic pivot, things where we have to turn and renew and open and find possibility, new life, instead of being shriveled with pain and fear, contracted and pulling away from being involved. So she's a fantastic spokesperson for all the different ways that governments need to come together to support their own people and then bridge out of what I call malignant tribalism, where you're sticking to your own ethnicity, your own culture, and you can't allow for the beauty, interaction, and cross-pollination of us all. Because if the bus leaves and one person is left behind, it ain't good. The love mentality is all-inclusive and wants to take everybody with it. So, Be a social artist, a social performer. Everybody has skill. Everybody has gifts. Everybody has ways of sharing what they love, showing their passion. Everybody has ways of celebrating and bringing the joy, bringing the party to other people. And everybody has ways of commiseration. How do we hold space for the suffering, the pain, the trauma, the unworthiness that so many people feel? And, if there's one thing that we all can do, we can help each other through forgiveness. The world needs a lot of forgiveness, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. So each one of us can play our part in forgiving others, canceling the debt, no longer having anybody under our thumb. Nobody owes us anything. And maybe we have to also either ask for forgiveness ourselves from other people, and then ultimately even can we forgive ourselves for things that we hold against ourselves. All of that will make you a psychonaut. All right, so remember, increase your sensory acuity, create imagination, which will stimulate your neurochemistry with new synapses, and then find those practices, whether it's yoga or anything else that does it to you, that takes you out of time, because that will give you a different perspective to see history, world events, and even this moment. I'll be gone now for about 2 weeks before I do my next Dharma tributary. Enjoy yourself until then. I'll have my computer with me, so I always love to hear from anybody. The Meister, TheMeiste, @yahoo.com. Go to my website, Cherry Pick. Go to the GabrielHalpern.com. Go to my YouTube station, Gabriel Halpern, Cherry Pick, do whatever you want. I'd love to hear from you. And then, shameless marketing always, right? February 26th to March 5th in Puerto Morelos at Villa Shanti, our yoga retreat, 25th anniversary. Love to have you join us. We still have some spaces open. And have a great day. Enjoy your life. And praise.